once again. And I think
Okay, all right. 7 years ago, I made a hiatus / goodbye video for Tabletop Time. I mean, obviously you could tell by the thumbnail and title, this is that for Insert Art, which is really unfortunate, and it's hard to know what to say. So I'm referencing this video from 7 years ago, and I'm just blabbing for 9 minutes. I could have said everything I needed to say in a minute or less. And that's probably what this is good video is going to be as well, because that's hard. It's really hard to put something on the shelf when you care about it. But ultimately, it is a part of being an entrepreneur. It's a part of being an artist. It's a part of trying. You risk failure, and I hate the word failure, because what we've done here, there are so many wonderful things we've produced. There's so many wonderful lessons that we've made and learned, and so many wonderful people we've been able to interact with. I am unfortunately putting Insert Art on a shelf. This is not goodbye. It's a smell you later. That is exactly the way I said it in my Tabletop Time video 7 years ago, and the reason I take heart in doing it the same way is because 3.5 years later, I brought Tabletop Time back. And the time was right, and the ingredients were right, and it worked the second time around. But Insert Art, which began with optimism and without a clear plan, had really interesting mixes of ideas, had a lot of enthusiasm behind its launch, had a lot of really fun ideas initially, and that sort of evolved organically in various ways, and it was just really fun to sort of launch that with you all. Aside from the big burst of being promoted from a bigger YouTube channel over on my main channel with 6 million subscribers, you can't fund a channel and people's livelihoods on a spike, on that optimism, because what happens is you end up you find your resting point, and the resting point for Insert Art has been financially not making ends meet. So that became the challenge for the better part of a half year, to find if we could make this more viable. But the reality is, it's hard. YouTube is hard financially. It's something I think it's easy to take for granted, even as a viewer, that the content you'll continue to get. And I think that's primarily because a lot of YouTubers are individuals who are able to volunteer a lot of time and hustle and grind for years in an unreasonable and unhealthy way, especially these days. That's what I did. A lot of hustle, grind, and volunteer work that was a bit unreasonable, and I'm not comfortable expecting or asking that of people, especially artists. I have a moral baseline where and I've made videos about this on my main channel, I feel an artist deserves to be paid for their time and their talent. And that, if there is anything that has been achieved with Insert Art, aside from enjoying our community and creating fun content with you, it's that I can say proudly that every minute of an artist's time on this channel has been fully paid, and I'm so incredibly grateful for the talent and time and effort and just soul gifted to this channel by the artists who have participated. Alicia, Morgan, Kat, Ariel, everyone who has participated in Insert Art has made it possible, and I'm very grateful to have had this wonderful building filled with more artistic talent than it would have been otherwise. It's just so, it's just been a real gift. We've really tried really hard to make it work financially. Whether it be sort of with Patreons or sort of pushing, some of our products that we could sort of track if it's working, like if it's financially justifiable. But at the end of the day, there's only so long that you can justify continuing something that's going to keep making a loss, and we weren't able to. We tried different pivots. We tried different strategies with YouTube, and it's hard, and it hasn't worked. And I think what needs to happen, at least now, is to put it on the shelf, maybe come back when we have some specific anchor points we can use in our I am blabbing, I'm the blabber. It hasn't worked yet. And I don't want to drag people through something that will continue to sort of do what it's doing without a clearer plan. And I've tried really hard to put more of my time into being a part of videos and being a part of meetings to see if we can reinvent Insert Art a little bit. And it's gotten to the point where I think we have to wave the white flag and put it on the shelf. But I genuinely see this as a smell you later, as a hiatus. So this is an opportunity to take feedback and to thank everyone who's participated. I fully own and take responsibility for Insert Art not working, because at the end of the day, I started it. I create a venture like this and accept that if it doesn't work, it's because I could have been a better leader or had a better plan. And I know I tried really hard, but maybe the timing wasn't right. Sometimes this stuff just happens. But I'm so grateful for everyone who's participated, and to see the whole team, especially in the last few months when everyone knows it's been a little tough and we've needed to try and make it work. And to see everyone really just sort of take the reins and work hard to come up with great concepts, to workshop thumbnail styles, to reinvent the flavor, and to see our presenters. And an extra special shout out to Alicia, who has from the beginning just been ready and willing and in the last few months just see her flourish in areas that I don't think even she expected to. Being able to we had a video that we were going to film, maybe this will be when we come back, we were going to turn cows into cowboys, and we both filmed separately vlog sections of finding cows that we were going to turn into cowboys. Seeing how she's been able to just take the filmmaking element of an art channel that was never on her let's learn to do this radar before Insert Art, and just grow into that is super admirable. And Alicia and Ariel and Kat's willingness to just bend over backwards to make it work, to communicate with each other about their availability, and to just make Insert Art something special that they all put into in their own unique ways, in their own unique styles, has just been an honor to watch and be a part of. And I'm so grateful, and I'm sorry to them that I could have perhaps done better in certain ways, and I don't want to drag on too much in that, because it's not about that. But I am very thankful and grateful for their involvement and hard work. These are people, some of these people we won't have met were it not for Insert Art, and we will continue to find opportunities to work with, because they're brilliant people and talented artists, and I look forward to working with them in other ways moving forward. And Alicia has tons of work here at the studio as well. So it's gonna, the ball will keep rolling in other ways, but Insert Art is not the way that we can keep that going right now. And we will come back and look at that in a way. It's going to sit at the back of our minds for, in the coming years as that thing that needs a reapproach. How can we reinvent this? And that's where I want to extend it and open it up to you guys. I would love to know, without dwelling too much on the negative, I think it's important to look at what we could have done better, and I would love to hear constructive feedback about what maybe Insert Art felt like it could have been or was meant to be, and how we might have missed that mark. I think that would be really helpful to know. I think it will also be really helpful to hear some hopeful ideas. What would you love it to be if we came back? What would it come back that works on YouTube feel and look like to you? But then that's the other third factor, is the YouTube thing, and it's just hard to quantify what's going to work. I thought I sort of understood art YouTube enough to be pretty confident coming in without too much of a plan, and I was wrong, and I own that. So I'd love to, at any point that we come back, it's going to be with more of a plan, with feedback and communication and a lot of fun. It's literally only just past the first anniversary of Insert Art. We launched just over a year ago, and we've learned so much and done so much, and it's been a pretty wild year, and I believe the end outcome of that endeavor is wholly good. The relationships we've built, artists got paid, you got entertained. That's really good. I think that at the end of the day, there's much more achieved and to be enjoyed than there is to be disappointed by. And in that spirit, I think it's most appropriate that we wrap up this video as a bit of a montage and a celebration, because while it's only been a year and while we are going on hiatus and I don't know what the future holds, I do hold a lot of hope for what this place can be. I'm so happy with what it has been. It's literally just about the logistics and financial crap that makes stuff hard sometimes, not quite working out. And I guess there's a sort of a moral to that too. If there are channels you really love, when they sort of, you know, put a call out for support, if you have the means to and you want to support them, it's really worth considering that, because every time we said thank you at the end of videos, we really meant it. It's, you know, we've gone for double what we otherwise could have, and that's really, I think, important for you to know as a viewer, as patrons, that you have had an impact, and that wherever else you support creators and artists that you love, you have an impact. And sometimes I can recognize it can be hard to sort of see that or know that, but it matters. You matter, and your support, it really matters. So without further ado, as a big thank you and a celebration for the year that we've had, the creations that we've seen come to life, and the enjoyment we've had in art and creativity with each other and with this team, I present to you Insert Art. Thanks for watching.
And we're off!
Hi, I'm Ariel.
You're a huge nerd, which is awesome.
Yes. I'm Alicia. Art is kind of my only personality trait. I'm just an arty Spider-Man.
I'm Morgan. Insert awkward intro. Insert awkward intro. I'm Morgan.
I'm Ariel.
What do we call that? Mariel?
Oh,
I can't be bothered using my own brain today.
Welcome to Kat. Kat is our new insert artist.
insert intro.
Hell yeah!
I've realized you always rub your hands.
I know.
And then I always copy you, and every video we're like...
And things are gonna get a little bit yuck, a little bit scary.
We've got our... Oh, everyone do the Morgan hand rub. The Morgan hand
Is that a thing?
classic. So you have an elf wizard.
Hell yeah, elf wizard.
Let me just... So here's a challenge for you, Morgan.
Yeah.
Let's do the intro without you rubbing your hands together. Let's have fun.
Let's go. I'm doing it.
Welcome back to Insert Art. Inserting art!